Authenticity isn't a nice to have in leadership. It's a non-negotiable. In a world full of facades, only your truth is the boldest move you can make. Welcome to the Danny V Show, the podcast for high-performing business owners, leaders, and entrepreneurs ready to lead with elegance, courage, and radical responsibility. I'm Danny V, and I'm here to help you strip away the fluff and step fully into your power at the boardroom and in business. In each episode, we'll share no-nonsense insights and real conversations on what it takes to show up authentically, make tough decisions with grace, and create impact at the highest levels. So if you're ready to own your voice and lead on your terms, you're in the right place. So let's dive in. Hello, incredible humans, and welcome back to the Danny V Show. Today, we're stepping into episode 4 of the Danny V Show, and this is about how really shrinking yourself is not being noble. It's actually a huge risk in business and leadership. And this is coming off the back end of our episode 3 of the imposter syndrome and how that comparisonitis and always striving to be something that you're not can really impact the way that you show up. So if you're interested in hearing that, jump back over to episode 3. But today I am creating this space where we can really dive into a conversation where what it really means to be in that shrinking zone, to shrink, to dim your light, and the dangerous story that it's somehow noble, and how we're being humble, and how that actually can start showing up when people say that. So I'd love to share with you to start with a story. And this is for me many years ago, where I used to wear a badge of being, humble and not showing up so much that, I let everybody else speak. And I always allowed other people to have the light and to share their experience and their expertise, even though I knew that I could support in a better way. I was filtering myself and I was kind of softening myself, but not in that beautiful feminine energy way, but more out of fear. I was fearing of being too much. I was fearing of being misunderstood and fearing of making others uncomfortable for when I actually spoke up and showed up with a little bit more light. And there was a moment when I'll just never forget. And I was in this space of business owners and leaders. And someone asked the question of, did I know the answer to that? And I definitely had taught it. I definitely lived it. And I definitely embodied this tool that they were asking me about. And I'd actually, helped a lot of large organizations with it. But I let somebody else have the spotlight during that time. I didn't want to be the one that always spoke up. I didn't want to be the one that was always giving the answers. So in that moment, I didn't just play small, I actually gave my power away. And that's what I want you to really think about, is that when you're shrinking yourself down and not letting people see that true, beautiful light of you, you are actually giving away your power. And what this cost to me was actually so much progression in my leadership and also in the way that I showed up in my business. It cost me the respect that I was so desperately trying to build and the credibility that I wanted to earn, because I was not showing others how much I did know and how I could support them. And most importantly, what it cost me was my own self-trust. I didn't trust myself to speak up. I didn't trust myself to actually have the answers, which was just absolutely crazy. So let's go into some neuroscience. I really love neuroscience. The more you listen to this podcast, the more you learn about me. You'll understand that I am a complete nerd to neuroscience. I absolutely love it. And our brains are actually wired for belonging. So hundreds and hundreds of years ago, if we were excluded from the tribe, it actually meant that we were going to die. It meant death. So our nervous systems are still wired that way. So it interrupts us from standing out. It actually stops us from being fully visible and bold because it sees it as risky. And this is where we can shift and change the way that our nervous system and our minds work, because we're not actually in that tribe where if we stand out, we won't belong. However, we are wired to belong. So I hope you're following me here. So the wiring can become a trap. Psychological studies show that self-censoring, filtering ourselves in meetings and playing down our achievements or holding back ideas directly correlates with being burnt out, low innovation, low motivation, and complete loss of influence. So playing small doesn't actually protect who you are as a leader and a business owner. It actually takes it away, it erodes it. So how can we shift this? What can you do to actually shift and start playing as someone that stands out and speaks up for what they truly believe and what their passion is, instead of shrinking down and just fitting in? I'd love for you to ask yourself, what am I afraid of that will happen if I show up fully right now? This is something that I get my clients to do when they're really finding themselves shrinking down, not showing up, not getting the results that they want in their business to have that influence that they want. So write this down now. What am I afraid of will happen if I show up fully right now? And then once you get that answer, I want you to flip it into what might be possible if I let myself take up space here. What could be possible? This is your chance to actually take the mic, to step into that leadership and really self-serve yourself and build that trust within yourself, and then build trust with others as well. I'm such a big believer that you weren't put on this earth to be playing small. You weren't born to dim your lights. You weren't born to make others feel comfortable. And this is what can really happen when you're shrinking yourself down. You were born to lead with energy, with truth, and with heart. The world truly needs the best version of you. The world needs the best version of every single one of us, not the filtered one, not the one that's wearing the mask, the one that shows up fully and completely. And the way that you can do this is by rewiring your brain with those two simple questions. So I'm going to go back to those questions. So what am I afraid of if I show up right now? If I show up fully right now? And once you can get that answer, I want you to flip it into what might be possible if I let myself take up space right now. So if this has landed for you, I'd love for you to share this episode with a woman that you feel is shrinking herself and needs to start stepping up, standing out, and showing who she truly is. Let her know that it's safe to expand herself and it's safe to be seen as well. And please subscribe, like, and share with anybody else that you believe will truly find some motivation to step up right now. And until next time, stay courageous, stay authentic, and keep showing up as all of you. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me on the Danny V Show today. I hope you're leaving this episode feeling inspired and empowered. My goal is always to bring you elegant insights with a bold impact. If you enjoyed our conversation, I invite you to subscribe to the show and leave a quick review. Your feedback not only means the world to me, but it also helps other growth-minded leaders find this community. Remember, leadership is an inside-out journey. The poise, the passion, and the purpose we cultivate within ourselves are what transform the world around us. So until next time, stay true to your vision and keep leading with the unique mix of grace and strength. Stay radiant, stay resilient, and I'll be right here cheering you on. I can't wait to hang out with you again on the next episode of The Danny V Show.